Get out of my face! Get out!
You're attacking me!
Get out of my face! Get out!
I'll do you too, you fucking pussy cunt.
What, you gonna hit me now?
I'm not gonna hit you. I'm not gonna hit you. Get the fucking back.
And that's when my microphone decided to pack up work for the day. I don't think there's a lot to be said about this incident, really. It speaks for itself in many ways, but there are a couple of brief points. Three, actually. Firstly, there's a few articles online. I was told about this and I looked them up. Devon Live did one. There was a few, but basically they're all sort of saying the same thing. Brawl involving UKIP supporters outside Wetherspoon pub in Exeter and that type of thing. The usual Tommy Robinson style biased media reporting. As I hope is now perfectly clear from this footage, a UKIP supporter was attacked in the street by several leftist thugs. He was defended by one or two people and there were no punches thrown, no fights. As the reports seem to say, the entire thing consisted of one headlock by me and a sharp shove I gave Mr. almost wearing a MAGA hat there. Secondly, and again this is a feature of the left, no matter where they go by all accounts, how quick they turn from bully to victim. And back again maybe. Notice how aggressive this man was when he had the upper hand. He was all out aggression. I'm going to win. I'm going to do you. And he was going to do him. His fist was raised up and just about to come down to pound him in the fucking face. The man he pushed on the floor. Oh, and of course before that he was throttling Frankie and dishing out violent threats to beat him up. But the second he had a taste of losing, even if only for a second or two, just as that oxygen flow to his brain slowed down a bit and made him a bit woozy and his legs go a bit weak, he pops up and instantly fires out the phrase, "What, you gonna hit me now?"
You fucking pussy cunt.
What, you gonna hit me now?
There's just no in between with these fucking people. If they have the upper hand, they'll beat the living shit out of anyone who gets in their way. True Stalin fucking style, of course. But when they lose the upper hand, instead of taking it like a man, in the old-fashioned sense, not the modern one, they become the poor victim and start crying rape for anyone who might overhear. Thirdly, and it's the last point worth mentioning, maybe a positive sign could be seen here. As soon as they didn't have that upper hand anymore, as soon as they felt overpowered or outgunned, the talking started. There was actually quite a long conversation between everyone after this, and a lot more inside the pub afterwards as well. And believe it or not, it was all sorted out, much more maturely and in a very civilised way, compared to what took place outside. Everyone ended up, not necessarily friends, but very civil, having a drink and a chat. It ended well, after this silly little violent outburst by them. So they can talk sometimes, it seems, but seemingly only when they no longer feel that physical violence is going to win the day for them. Which goes back to my point that I keep saying, if the police nip this stuff in the bud, not necessarily this, but at these events when the milkshake artists come out, if the police treated it like what it could seriously lead to, as in it's a breakdown from discussion, it's a shift from discussion to physical violence, it's that Rubicon being crossed, it's that massive change from talking to violence, to physical assaults on people. If they took that seriously and nipped this stuff in the bud, I think there would be a lot more talking going on. Because they'd have to be. Because they couldn't just turn up a milkshake and humiliate someone and ruin their jacket and run off and laugh about it and get all the credit on fucking Twitter and all the fucking talking heads on the media talking about how it's a new form of protest. If people took it seriously, they'd have to take it seriously, they'd have to stop doing it, and they might then start talking.